Now, the general weather around Alaska.
Hi everyone, Meteorologist Joel Curtis with your Alaska weather. Starting out with a few headlines here. Snow at higher elevations today at Tahitna and Isabel Passes. Visibility pretty low and everything like that. All of that should taper off early tomorrow morning. Strong low develops near Kodiak on Wednesday and with gale force winds. And then we have a storm center coming up to the Panhandle on Friday. Also for southeast Alaska, high or bankful river and stream levels through the week. So taking a look at our hazardous weather, we have a winter weather advisory for the Isabel Pass area and the eastern Alaska range. We also have special weather statements issued for the Juneau area, also the Alaska Peninsula, and on down to the eastern Aleutians for wind. Okay, here's our satellite image. First of all, what we got here is a couple of lows, one that's just going to be to east of St. Paul, the other one developing near Kodiak Island on that big, large occluded front that you see there. Also some clouds over the eastern central interior, also Copper River Basin. And then note that the showers, some really striking and well-defined showers moving into southeast Alaska out of the southwest. So let's run through that again. You can see those showers moving in and the two lows developing on the occluded front. So here's tonight's weather. Two 982 millibar lows with a full occluded front around them. First one to the west, just east of St. Paul, 982 millibars. And then the one developing near Kodiak Island, approximately Chillicothe Strait, 982 millibars. And then we have a triple point that's out in the Gulf. And then a cold front that extends southward and bands of precipitation moving around that. And we also are showing a little bit of precipitation in northwestern Alaska, particularly the Chukchi Sea coastline. So then, as we move into Wednesday, we've got some thunderstorms indicated in the Gulf of Alaska, mainly over the water, but there's a few that are making it inland on the northeast Gulf Coast and also maybe even over to Prince William Sound, and then some making it into the Panhandle. Full occluded front around that low, it weakens a little bit to 984 millibars and a trough extending out through the Bering Sea where the old low was. And then a bit of a trough, again, has moved into northwestern Alaska, a little bit of snow or rain around that system. It's attached to a 996 millibar low up by well north of Utiagavik. And then for Thursday, what we've got, again, indicating thunderstorms in the Gulf of Alaska, full occluded front, 988 millibar low in the central Gulf of Alaska, snow over higher elevations, also over the eastern Brooks Range and on up to the Beaufort Sea coast. A little bit of mixed precipitation behind the cold front. Also a secondary system, 999 millibars low, near the Gulf of Anadyr, and that's moving down and becoming part of the next system. Also note a couple of minor low pressure systems developing to the south of the main low that's in the Gulf of Alaska. And then 1037 millibar high well south of the far western Aleutians. Also we have a little 1027 millibar high down off of Vancouver Island. So on Friday, that 90, don't be deceived by the few lines on the map for that low that's moving into southeast Alaska. In the morning, it will be storm force. It really looks almost certain. Thunderstorms out over the Gulf of Alaska, snow over the higher elevations all across the state, and a second 990 millibar low developing near Nunivak Island, and you'll notice that the lines are particularly packed well, the lines of equal pressure down from St. Lawrence Island right down through the eastern Aleutians, and also a pretty good pressure gradient out for the Alaska Peninsula as well, and a little bit of ridging, but generally wet through Shelikof Strait, 1035 millibar high, well south of the Aleutians. So let's take our look at our temperatures Wednesday morning. Temperatures in the teens in the Brooks Range, otherwise in the 20s and 30s for most of northern Alaska, but still below freezing. And then as you get south of, let's say Talkeetna or so, you start seeing temperatures up in the mid-30s. And then as we get closer to the either the Bering Sea or the Gulf of Alaska, which are relatively warm at this time of year, what you've got then is temperatures in the 40s and even up to 50 in southeast Alaska. Then for the afternoon, temperatures well into the 30s and even a few readings in the 40s in northern Alaska, coming down into the 50s for south central, also for Kodiak Island and out the Alaska Peninsula, including the Pribilofs, and even Shimei is showing 52 degrees, as well as Adak and parts of the Alaska Peninsula, eastern Aleutians, and then temperatures well into the 50s for southeast Alaska on Wednesday afternoon. The low temperatures on Thursday morning, what we've got is, again, teens over the Brooks Range and up to about 20 or so. Otherwise, looking at temperatures are still, in the lower 30s for the North Slope. You might see some readings for 20s in the central interior, but then ramps up to the well into the 30s as we get further south, 40s for south central and on out the Alaska Peninsula, and even a reading or two of 50 for southeast Alaska. And then for Thursday afternoon, again, temperatures above freezing for the North Slope, except for the Brooks Range. Temperatures in the mid-20s to lower 30s. And then temperatures 40s for most of mainland Alaska, in the 50s for south central, and as you go out the Alaska Peninsula, 40s though, as you get a little bit further out, then Shimei has got some warm advection with 53 degrees and temperatures well into the 50s for most of southeast Alaska. So, looking at our 6 to 10 day outlook, temperatures are likely to be below freezing from an area of the west central interior on down to the Alaska Peninsula. And then for much of mainland Alaska, some chance that it's going to be below normal. Normal temperatures for the North Slope, and then also for the southeast mainland, and then temperatures with a little bit of a chance below normal for the Panhandle. For precipitation, a chance of above normal for the along the Alcan and the northeastern coast of Beaufort Sea and down to the Brooks Range. Also a little bit of a higher chance for above normal precipitation for the southeast Alaska. And for our 8 to 14 day forecast, which starts October 1st through the 7th, a slightly above normal chance for above normal temperatures for the southeastern portion of the mainland. Otherwise, normal temperatures for just about everywhere. A little bit colder than normal temperatures forecasted for the higher terrain in southeast Alaska. And then for our precipitation, same deal. Normal precipitation forecasted for most of the mainland, but the southeast mainland, a little bit higher chance of above normal precipitation, and for the Panhandle. So thanks for tuning in. Please stay safe out there.